I'm just back home from Costa Rica and the superb Tsunami Skydiver's exotic boogie. But directly before I was in Costa Rica, wingsuit pilot Jano Cordia was in the Maldives and captured some absolutely unique formation flights. For sure, they start the year with the most incredible visuals that can ever be experienced. Crystal clear waters, warm weather and a mix of great skydives. The group was led by world record holder canopy pilot Mario Fataruso and organised and filmed by wingsuit world champion Jenna Gigi. What is quite unusual is the team used radios to communicate in flight and record conversations live to the GoPro cameras in freefall. What a feat, guys, and what a great view. Thanks so much. I was fortunate to be part of the first Maldives skydiving boogie just before the pandemic, and what a great time that was. So here we are, another Air Sports News episode is ready to be revealed. I'm Regan Tetlow. Please stay with us, click like, share and subscribe and enjoy the show. So we're right after the first big aerobatic event in the USA, the 2022 Glider Championship organised in Maricopa, Arizona. And it gathered around 20 of the best glider aerobatic pilots to compete both in advanced and unlimited categories. And we have the fresh and confirmed results. Besides two main categories, the integral part of the event was also an Australia Classic for so-called sportsman gliders and regional pilots. Great atmosphere, sunny weather and good wind conditions allowed all the pilots to compete in fair conditions. In the unlimited category, our previous special guest, Eric Lentz-Gautier, took the trophy, gathering over 5,300 points in overall. Second was Jim Burke and third, Jason Stevens. The best pilot in the advanced category was Jovis Gerner, who gained a significant advantage over second place Marilyn Lynch and third Shad Coulson. Winner of the Australia Classic is Dave Watson, second place Richard Davis and third Paul Velarides. Okay, let's make a fast jump to the Antipodes, where 94 pilots competed in the New Zealand Paragliding Open 2022 competition that are organised in the best Australian mountainside in the Kariong region. Kariong is located just a few thermal glides from Mount Kosciuszko, the highest mountain in Australia, where historically the very first Australian Paragliding Nationals were hosted not far from here in Thredbo in 1990. NZPG Open is a Cat 2 competition and aimed at experienced inland intermediate to advanced rated pilots. The event is taking place until the 26th of February, and amongst the biggest groups of pilots from Australia and New Zealand, other competitors come from South Korea, Norway, Argentina, the Czech Republic, Japan, and Great Britain, Belgium, Switzerland, Romania, and many others. Last week we promised to bring you the first results from the hang gliding El Peñon Classic Race 2022 that is taking place in the Val de Bravo, Mexico. So let's do a short look on the results after the first task. Daniel Velez from Colombia won the 67-kilometer route on Monday, flying on his Wills Sport 3 wing. Romanian Felix Contesano was second on the Eros Discus 14, and third was Damien Zahn from Switzerland on the Moore Gecko wing. In the sports category, American pilot Rick Warner won the 60 kilometers route, overtaking Mexican Clock Jaramillo and another American Tim Delaney. All pilots competing on the Will Sport 3 wings. Good job, guys. Let's get back to Costa Rica for a few minutes, where I recorded my two special guests for this week's show. Firstly, this great athlete is a member of the Highlight Pros skydiving team. She's a professional skydiver and a military skydiving coach, a stunt jumper and a health coach as well. She's a 3 times world champion, 3 times World Cup champion, 1 World Games gold, 7 world records, 21 national championships golds, and this is Eliana Rodriguez. Wow, getting to witness it firsthand. We did a demo here a few days ago onto the beach just down the road, and I got to witness just how that inspiration works. Can you tell me a little bit about that jump?
Yeah, so we got to jump into a little place down here on the beach in Costa Rica, in Tambor, and there was a lot of the local people and a lot of children. And so I jumped. I got to do a jump with a friend that was doing a tandem, Jeanette. But when I opened up, I pulled out a little streamer. So, you know, it was for a bit of a show, a yellow streamer, and I came in and landed. And then when I landed, I had these hero cards that Highlight has made for me. And I started talking to the kids, and suddenly I had like this huge line of kids around me wanting to talk to me, wanting you know, my autograph. And it was really inspiring and special, and it almost makes me emotional because they were just so sweet. And so I have a couple pictures that are like, when I look at them, it makes me want to cry, just because I think they were looking at me like, this is somebody that looks like me,
yes,
speaks my language. She's a, you know, for the girls, she's a woman, and you know, I think it gives them a little bit of like inspiration and hope that they can too do it something special someday. You know, so I feel like in that crowd there might be a few, hope at least one, you know, that, you know, hopefully that might have changed how they think about, you know, life and what the possibilities are for them.
Want to hear a little bit more? You can check out the full-length interview on our YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to always be updated with our new content there every week. Thanks very much, guys. Do you have what it takes to be a Drones Champion League's pilot? Are you ready to be a team player? Well, it's not just a dream, but a reality, and it can happen to anyone. Now, every FPV pilot can join the 2022 DCL draft selection and fight for a place in one of the DCL teams. Draft qualification takes place in DCL the game on all platforms from Saturday the 19th of February to Sunday 6th of March. Literally all FPV drone pilots can check their abilities to become a member of the DCL team involved in the official 2022 season. All the qualifications take place in the virtual world, and after it, the DCL board will choose new athletes for the upcoming season. DCL the game, where the qualifications are taking place, is available on Steam, PlayStation 4 and Xbox, and can be easily downloaded from the DCL website or the YouTube channel. Okay, so we know that DCL drones are super fast, and it takes a lot of fast talking to commentate, but the truth is that drone technology is developing extremely fast, and now maximum speed of 100 kilometers an hour can be doubled. Look at this. The goal of the sub 250 insane drone was to hit at least 250 kilometers an hour with a mainly 3D printed quad. The current setup saw a new record of 219 kilometers an hour, but it's still under development. Designers tried several different T-mount props, and surprisingly, the 5-blade idea resulted in the highest speed. In general, less blades is better for high-speed flights. This construction is a self-build one, and it's not dedicated for the market, mainly because it's highly dangerous. It took not just weeks, but months to properly control this stuff. Anyway, the speed is insane. My second special guest this week was one of the pioneers of competitive free-fly skydiving. He has won multiple national and world championships and has even more national and world free-fly world records to his credit. He was the first FAI-sanctioned freestyle world champion, World Air Games and World Games gold medalist. He has halo jumped over the Mount Everest region since 2008, over the geographic North Pole, and led an expedition that opened skydiving in Union Glacier. He's even base jumped from the world's tallest building, and he was part of the organising team with me in Costa Rica, and I managed to get a few minutes to have a chat. It is the one and the only legend that is Omar. We've just been talking about like the stuff I'm doing now with Air Sports News and people with their Instagram posts. We see a lot of great content every day, every hour, but there was a time back in the day, in the mid-90s, the only time we got to see stuff was when these cassettes, these VHS came out.
Patrick Pass came out with a whole bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell me a bit about them.
Well, I was just starting. I started out in '93, and so I remember looking through and seeing those Traveling Ones, Traveling Two series of movies that Patrick did with Wendy, and there was Patrick de Gardon was featured in quite a few of them. So yeah, that was super exciting, and the honor for me was to be in Crosswind, which was a Patrick Pass and Wendy Smith production that came out, I believe, in '99 or 2000, somewhere on there.
Yeah.
And it was awesome because, like you said, we had very little footage and material. You can just go onto YouTube or onto a social media, but it didn't exist. We didn't have it. We didn't have that resource. So it was all those VHS cassettes, and if you were lucky, you had those Traveling 1, Traveling 2. You had then eventually in the 90s, 95, 96, Chronicles 1 and Chronicles 2 that showcased really this birth of free flying, this beginning of this evolution of this movement, if you want. Oh, absolutely.
I must have wore those tapes out. I don't even know where I got them from. I must have got them from a skydiving supplier or
for sure,
something like that.
For sure, that's awesome. Yeah, I was like you, man. I had my series of tapes and I would watch those over and over again. That was pretty killer.
So tell me what's going on, where you're based out of, what you're doing these days.
Yeah, I've been in Dubai for the past 12 years, 13 years now really, and having a great time over there, living there, coaching there, raising my daughter there, and at the same time been extremely busy in the boogie circuit. I mean, while everybody was locked down in COVID, I had a pretty splendid, blessed year. I got to go to Egypt, I got to go to the Maldives, I got to go to Costa Rica now, I got to go to the States, so it's been pretty good, and a lot of great boogies coming up.
The whole interview is already uploaded onto our Air Sports Promotion YouTube channel and on Vimeo as well, so you can check it out after the show. One of air taxi developer Joby Aviation's electric vertical takeoff and landing prototype aircraft was involved in an accident during flight testing on Wednesday in Jolon, California. The aircraft, which is one of two Joby prototypes, was being piloted remotely and no one was injured in the accident. The extent of the damage to the prototype and potential causes of the accident have not been made public. Experimental flight test programs are intentionally designed to determine the limits of aircraft performance, and accidents are unfortunately a possibility, said the company's spokesman. Joby announced last November that it plans to certify its eVTOL as a traditional airplane rather than a multi-rotor. Its air taxi design, which seats a pilot and 4 passengers, is expected to have a top speed of 200 miles per hour and a range of 150 miles. Tecnam Aircraft announced on Tuesday that it has successfully flown its P2010 H3PS hybrid demonstrator aircraft. According to the company, the flight was the first for a general aviation aircraft with a parallel hybrid configuration. The H3PS High Power, High Scalability Aircraft Hybrid Powertrain project was launched in 2018 with the goal of developing a parallel hybrid powertrain suitable for the Tecnam P2010 and same category aircraft that would not affect the payload and overall performance. For H3PS, Tecnam coordinated airframe and system integration. Rotrax handled the design and integration of combustion engine and electric motor. Rolls-Royce managed the electric motor and power storage. Okay guys, so as it is every week, it's time for our February Hall of Fame. On the 19th of February 1912, the rigid airship LZ-11 Victoria Luz made its first flight. The Zeppelin was named for Princess Victoria Luz of Prussia, daughter of the Kaiser Wilhelm II and granddaughter of Queen Victoria. It was a G-class passenger airship used by the German Navy as a training ship. On the 19th of February 1979, Neil Alden Armstrong set 5 FAI records for time to climb to an altitude and altitude whilst flying the prototype Learjet 28. Armstrong, with Learjet program test pilot Peter Renner, Reynolds flew the Learjet 28 to 15,000 meters in 12 minutes, 27 seconds over Kitty Hawk, North California. On the 20th of February 1972, Lockheed HC-130 Hercules flew from Taiwan Republic of China to Scott Air Force Base in the USA non-stop in 21 hours, 12 minutes. This set a new FEI world record for distance of 14,053 kilometers, breaking a record of the Orion aircraft set earlier that year. On the 21st of February 1910, Sir Douglas Robert Stuart Bader, the legendary fighter pilot of the Royal Air Force during World War II, was born at St John's Wood, London, England. During World War II, Group Captain Bader was officially credited with 22 enemy aircraft destroyed. He shared credit for another 4, 6 probably destroyed, shared credit for another probable, and 11 damaged. That's it for this week, guys. I'm leaving you with astonishing shots from wingsuiters Sam Hardy and Nate Ginger Jones, who are developing a new thrilling sport, wingsuit proximity slalom competition. So we'll see you back here again next week. Stay safe and, of course, keep your eyes on the skies.